Hello everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you're all doing very, very well. We've got some transfer news for you today. Enzo Fernandez is being linked with a move to Real Madrid, which could potentially be just a straight transfer or even a swap deal for none other than Real Tchouameni. Tell me if I pronounced that wrong. The Real Madrid French central midfielder. Now, to be honest with you, I am surprised by these links, and there are questions as to the sources of these rumours. But they've come out nonetheless. This has become a story, and I think it's worth talking about. So the question is, first of all, why are Real Madrid being linked with a player like Enzo Fernandez, who's currently out of form? And I think the reality of the situation at the Bernabeu is they are looking for a midfielder to replace what they once had with Toni Kroos. Anyone who's watched Madrid play over the past 10 years, Toni Kroos has been an integral part of that. You look at players like Jude Bellingham, Camavinga in the midfield for Real Madrid, Valverde, a lot of energy, a lot of stamina, pace, very athletic. But you wouldn't look at any of those players and say, you know what, he can pick a 40-yard ball consistently. He can dictate the play in the middle like Toni Kroos did. And Enzo Fernandez, to be fair to him, that is his strength. That's what he's good at. He's good at dictating the play, controlling the tempo in midfield, picking those passes that other players would probably never even attempt to do. And that is why I think there is certainly a possibility that this could be true. It does make sense in that case. Also, when you look at Enzo Fernandez, where do you find he performs at his best? When he's got players around him doing all the dirty work. And he would have that at Real Madrid. So it does make sense to me in that regard. But I have another question, which is, would you take this deal? Chelsea fans, would you swap Enzo Fernandez for Real Tchouameni? Or would you just take a flat fee? It's been discussed maybe an £85 million transfer, which is still much, much less than we paid for Enzo Fernandez. I think it adds up to over 120 million euros if you include the add-ons and everything like that we're paying Benfica for this player. Now, Chelsea still trust Enzo Fernandez. There's nothing to say that they don't want him at the club. They clearly value him from a commercial perspective. You know, we defended him heavily with the whole racism thing on the Argentinian bus. And Enzo Maresca's spoken very highly about Enzo Fernandez, how much he loves him. He's a part of his plans, one of the captains at the club, senior members of the squad, even at the young age of, 21, 22. Still very, very important player for this team in that sense. But one thing that we've seen at Chelsea, and I've spoken about it, I said it after the Brighton game, Enzo Fernandez does not do enough when he's played out of position. He's not a versatile player. You can't play him as an 8. We've seen that. It doesn't work. You can't play him as a 10, which we saw under Pochettino. That definitely doesn't work. So there's only one position where you really get the best out of Enzo Fernandez, and that's in that role, that defensive register role right in front of the back four, when he can receive the ball early, look what's in front of him, and pick out those passes. But the issue we have is we have 2 players in the squad who are better than him at that role. You've got Lavia and Caicedo. Now, I think we can all agree that Enzo's a better passer of the ball than both of those players. But all-round ability, Lavia and Caicedo just have more to their game. They're better rounded midfielders. They're more versatile. They can do more in that position. And the most important thing is the defensive aspect, which is really where Enzo Fernandez lets himself down. You can never control pace as a player. I mean, you're only as fast as you can be. But, you know, we've seen with players like Jorginho that we've had in the past, and Enzo Fernandez was a direct replacement for Jorginho. You don't need to have a lot of pace to be good defensively in that role. So he is lacking in that regard, which is one of the reasons as well I'm surprised to an extent that we are linked with this and Madrid are interested. But I can understand on the ball why he would spark interest in that side. I mean, he was linked with Barcelona at one time, so it's not to say Madrid is completely out of the picture. But I do think this is a very unrealistic deal, especially when we're looking at the money, that side of things. I mean, if we can find a way to bring a midfielder in who is a direct upgrade on Enzo Fernandez, I would be all for it. But I also think that every player deserves time, and Enzo Fernandez is no exception to that. Now, do I think he's been a great player this season? Absolutely not. Do I think that he's going to continue to play when other players like Lavia and Caicedo are fit? Probably not. But he does deserve a chance. And even if he doesn't, perform within the next couple of weeks, sometimes it takes months. And I do think that we will see Enzo Fernandez perform. I just don't think it will be in the Premier League. I think it will be in the Conference League, the cup competitions. But I say that, I mean, we lost to Newcastle, didn't we? And Enzo Fernandez was poor. So maybe even I'm being too positive about it. But I personally would take this deal. I think it's a good deal if I'm just looking at it at face value. It's not like Tchouaméni's been ousted by Madrid. He's playing lots and lots of minutes. If you look on SofaScore, every game he's getting a rating of at least 7.0 or over. Our win percentage as well with Enzo Fernandez is much lower than our percentage when he's not playing. When Enzo Fernandez plays, we win 35% of games. When he doesn't play, we win 81% of games. That is not a stat that I look at and don't take seriously. That's a real thing. People say, well, you know what? He came in at a difficult time for Chelsea. And that's fair enough. But then why is our win percentage so much better when he's not playing anyway? Because he's still playing a lot of football at the moment and we are winning matches, but we're winning more and we're having more success when he's not involved. So I ask you that question in the comments. Let me know. I mean, it's a real debate, isn't it? But yeah, Tchouaméni's been playing practically all of the games in La Liga. He started in the Nations League for France. He played the UEFA Super Cup as well. He has featured plenty for Real Madrid this season, so it's not like he's a player that's not been playing. He's also very versatile. He can play as a defensive midfielder. He can play slightly further up the pitch, which I think would suit massively, considering that's where we've tried to play Enzo. I mean, Tchouaméni maybe is more suited to that role, although he's not a goal scorer. He's not a massive creator. If you look at his stats, he's not hitting big numbers. I'd argue Enzo Fernandez is probably more creative than Tchouaméni, but he's an all-round midfielder, and that is something that maybe we need more of in this team because we don't lack creativity. I mean, if you look at what we've got up top with Sancho, Palmer, Jackson, those players, Neto, Madueke has been in decent form. Even Mudryk has performed well at times. We're not struggling for creativity. So I don't understand this argument that we need more creativity in the midfield because Lavia is capable of passing the ball. Caicedo's passing is supremely underrated. So maybe just a bit more stability in the midfield would help. And Tchouaméni could be that player. He's not 25. He's only 24 years old. So in that sense, does he still fit the project? Is it under 21s only, or is it 24, 25 or under? Whatever it is. I mean, he's still a young player. So you can have him on a long-term deal and he's still going to be at his peak in 5 or 6 years. So, I think this is a really, really interesting deal. Would I take it? Yes. Would I take the transfer fee? I think I probably would if Enzo Fernandez continued to play poorly. If he picked up his form, then maybe not. But yeah, certainly a deal to think about, guys. I mean, let me know if you agree or disagree with this. Do you think that we should keep Fernandez? Do you think we should sell him? Do you think we should do this swap deal with Real Madrid? Or is there another area that we need to prioritise? Are we just overthinking this midfield position? So let me know in the comments, guys. And before I round out this video, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, Omely. If you don't know what Omely is, it's the best way to connect with football fans around the world as well as your favourite creators. I'm on there, Lewis, Kev, Nina, Charlie, everybody's on Omely. We do shows every single week, and if you want to jump on and speak to us, the only way you can do it is by downloading it. It's totally free. There's a QR code on screen. There's also a link in the description. Download the app, join us on Omely, and let's have a good chat together and talk all things Chelsea. But listen, apart from that, guys, up the Chelsea. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think, and let's catch up very, very soon.